Power stations are often surrounded by security fencing and guarded by round-the-clock patrols. But the real danger may not come from a physical attack on a facility, but through cyber attacks on the connected sites by hackers thousands of miles away.
We're seeing people looking for vulnerabilities, people scanning to see what types of openings they can find.
Inside the nation's largest power grid operator, cybersecurity experts keep watch for intruders 24/7. An Associated Press investigation found that the networks running the U.S. power grid remain vulnerable, despite repeated warnings by cybersecurity experts and increased efforts to stop the attacks.
We're still in this era where everyone believes it's secure by default. And it's not.
AP has learned that nearly a dozen times in the past decade, foreign hackers have gained remote access to networks that run the grid, which supplies power to the military, mass transit, businesses, and millions of Americans. While none of the intrusions resulted in the catastrophic blackouts lasting days or even weeks, feared by the intelligence community, that possibility remains.
It's all real.
Hackers have been a major theme in the U.S. presidential election, and mainstream media have turned Russia into a key cyber war adversary. However, just a couple of years ago, Washington's main online threat had a different name, which now seems to have fallen by the wayside, as RT's Emily Sue reports.
When in doubt, blame the Russian hackers.
There's no doubt now that Russia has used cyber attacks against all kinds of organizations in our country.
Russian state actors broke into the DNC.
Group with ties to the Russian government.
The intelligence agencies of Russian President Vladimir Putin.
But it wasn't always like that. For years, U.S. officials and mainstream media have been blaming China instead.
A massive Chinese hack of U.S. government computers.
China unleashing its full spy power.
Officials say this could be the biggest cyber attack in American history.
This is an espionage operation run by the Chinese People's Liberation Army.
So, where did they go? According to hacker group Anonymous China, hackers in the country are no longer feared as they once were.
Since 2004, the most notorious hacker groups in China have disbanded to work for cybersecurity firms. Chinese hackers don't dare attack US government networks anymore. Today, hacker groups in China are not nearly as good as they were in the 90s.
Since Chinese hackers have slipped off the radar, the mainstream media has upped its cyber blame game against Russia. Last month alone, despite the lack of any solid evidence, different outlets accused Russian hackers of attacking 85 commercial giants, stealing information from 500 million personal Yahoo accounts, and targeting political parties in Germany. Putting aside whether or not these allegations are realistic or legitimate, the question is media coverage a disadvantage for hackers?
The best hackers will keep a low profile or no profile at all. I did that for years. The more attention you get and the more you talk about your hacks, etc., the better chance you have of getting caught. Plus, it's just a big distraction. When working on more complex hacks, you need to focus 100%. It's not just your work, but covering your tracks as well.
Meanwhile, some suggest pointing the finger at Russia instead of China is politically motivated.
How do they know the hackers are Russian? The media outlets aren't sure themselves.
But there are actually, in reality, many more security incidents all over the world. Kind of like a finger pointing. It's more like a hear and say, without any sort of solid evidence.
As outsiders, it's hard to pinpoint who's responsible for certain cyber attacks. But one thing's for sure, the lack of evidence does not stop the media from playing.
The computers of the U.S. Customs and Border Control Department appear to be down. We are hearing that this is a nationwide outage, but that computers are slowly coming back online. Now, officials say it is affecting airports in Atlanta and Miami and most likely many others. Customs officials are manually processing international passengers at the moment. CNN aviation analyst Mary Schiavo is joining us now on the phone. Mary, what do you make of what this outage?
Well, it's deja vu all over again, as they say, because in October 2015, they had one like this that lasted for 90 minutes. In that case, they were blaming it on some interface with some additional equipment they were bringing online. Like say a year ago, October, they got it back online within 90 minutes. But this is coming as people are coming home from holidays, and the travel today is particularly heavy at the wrong time. Now, they say they're going to do it. They're going to check people in manually, but that's very difficult because now everything is computerized and online. So I would expect that people coming in can possibly be waiting for the computers to get back up.
Obviously a huge inconvenience for travelers who have to be delayed and wait as these things are being processed manually. But do you see any security issues from this outage?
Well, not unless the rush and the urge to process people manually causes them to overlook their typical checks. It's really horrible for passengers because, a lot of us have purchased and have paid money for the global access and the speedy way through customs. And with the computers down, it's those very people who will have the slowest time because all of us with those kinds of cars just breeze through and you do everything electronically. And you do it yourself, really. You check yourself in to the country. But, certainly there's a security risk if they aren't really able to check and fully check people coming in, and there's a pressure to skip the checks, and that's going to be particularly difficult. Also, the computers allow them to match names with the databases and the watch lists. And so the computer plays lots of functions aside from just speeding us through the airport. That's where the databases are stored. So, yes, if they're pressured to skip those checks, there could be security issues.
This afternoon, millions of Americans are without power.
The sun's going down. It's going to get really dark, and we're going to have to light some candles.
Are you doing nothing, too? Nobody's doing anything today because there's no power right now.
No power. Nothing in here works.
There's no AC. Toilet doesn't work.
What are we supposed to do?
Where's everybody? We're stuck.
We got to get some water.
Wait your turn!
Daddy, when are you coming to pick us up? Oh, no.
The current blackout is the result of a cyber attack.
Why is nobody helping us?
I'd like to say shalom, giving all praises to Yahawashi. Also give a double honors to the elders of GMS. Also double honors to the Akim. And peace and blessings to the brothers and sisters that listen. This is one of the topics I wanted to get into real briefly. We see that 2017 is a hell of a year thus far. It's crazy. The year just started and it already came in with a bang. We've seen, which I'm going to do videos on that, Lord willing, on the highways and hedges. And also sit downs on the gas hike in Mexico, the tolls in Peru. We've seen another false flag shooting in Fort Lauderdale Airport, which the media can't even get their story straight on how much people got injured, how much shooter it was. So, we just got to be, like the scripture says, circumspect. We got to be attentive and aware, especially this year. As we get closer and closer to the second coming, things are going to amplify. This devil Esau, the white man, starting with the elites on down, they're going to come down with holy wrath. All right? That's why the scripture says what? I'm going to read this. And I showed in the previous clips, one of their main devices that they could use is a cyber attack. Because that's been a buzz lately in the media. How they accuse Russia of interfering with the elections, which we know that that's all set up, man. Okay, the elites of the society is the one that's doing that. These are all trial runs, so we got to be alert. All right. First precept, and this is our job as men of the Most High. All right, this is what we have to get into: prophecy, because this is the time period that we're living in. I'm going to read the first precept. In Joel chapter 2, verse 1. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. And that's what I want to start out with. The day of the Lord, the day of Yahawashi, when the Most High Yahawah is going to send his son back, Yahawashi, you English call Jesus Christ a black man, to what? To receive his kingdom, man, by casting down all kingdoms and by destroying America, aka Babylon. Okay, America's going down on all levels, and we see it right now. And civil unrest is coming to this country, man. We know Trump gonna get inaugurated soon, and we see racial tension is building on a day-to-day basis. Riots may break out on that day. Insurrection may happen on that day, man. So the scripture said we gotta blow the trumpet in Zion. Who's Zion? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and you Native Americans, you Israelites, man. All right? And we're warning you what's about to come. Okay? Like I showed it, the clip showed, you know, the Illuminati have something called predictive programming, where they forecast their moves. Okay, but we know that the average individual can't see these things. So it's our job to blow the trumpet, man, and set an alarm. Okay, we're sounding the alarm to let you know that war is coming. All right. So we know there's many disastrous things that's planned out here in this society. That's what the scripture says, as men of the Most High, we got to do what? Ezekiel 33 verse 1. Bring this out. It says, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, the sword is coming. Famine is coming. The economy falling is coming. Cyber attacks is which I want to mainly highlight in this video is coming, because everybody is so independent on technology. Okay, they got everybody where they want them. Okay, and technology makes you complacent. The average person can't even read a map anymore. Everything is GPS, everything is a computer, everything is the internet. Okay? So the scripture says, when I bring the sword upon their land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman. And this is what I wanted to bring out. Our job as prophets of the Most High is to be watchmen. Okay, we're watching, constantly looking what's about to take place, and we bring it out. Okay, that's a prophet's job, man. You're supposed to watch, like Yahawashi said, we watch and we pray and we prophesy, man. So we're warning the sheep, okay, because a lot of false flags gonna happen this year. More false flags gonna happen this year. We seen one also at the airport. U.S. Customs was down for 90 minutes. Their system went down. They said Russia interfered with the election, which we know that was a lie, a cyber attack. And they also showed in a show, American Blackout, on National Geographic, what would happen if a blackout happened. That happened in NYC, I believe, in 2003. That was all a trial run to see how would people react. So we know a major attack is going to happen, man. And in the midst of that major attack, a lot of people are going to die, and you may end up losing power. Because when it all said and done, when martial law really hit, you're not going to have power, man. You're not going to have electricity. Okay, the pleasures and the luxuries that you have is going to be non-existent. It's going to cease. All right? Read this other precept. Quick precept. Mark chapter 13, verse 37. So now as we get closer to this thing, we got to keep studying to show thyself approved. You know, we have to fast, we have to pray. And whatever demon that's on you, got to pray to the Most High to remove it, man. That's what the Lord said, what? Mark chapter 13, verse 33. Take heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. Okay, you got to watch and pray, man. You got our people worrying about some Chris Brown and Soulja Boy boxing match. That's foolishness, man. You so-called Negroes and Hispanics and you Native Americans, you Israelites, you don't know what's going on. Holy hell is about to come down on this planet Earth, and that's what you worried about? Okay, these people in the celebrity world, they're already dead. They're walking dead. They sold their soul a long time ago. They're finished. Okay? The scripture says to come up out of her, my people, man. So the Lord said, what? Mark 13:33. Take heed, watch, and pray, for ye know not when the time is. And that's what we're doing as watchmen of the Most High. Okay. And that's why it's like I said, the elites of this society, you know, they're telling people what they're gonna. Their moves is getting very sloppy. Okay, to us it is. To the average person, you know, they're just going along with the flow. All right, they don't know what's happening in this place, man. But Scripture says this: Isaiah chapter 29, verse 15. It says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, Who seeth us and who knoweth us?" And that's an Illuminati scripture, starting with the Jewish bankers on down. Okay, that's what they're saying. Who seeth us and who knoweth us, man? Number one, the Most High sees you. Two, his men see you. Okay, we know what you're about to do, man, through the Spirit. All right, that's why Job said, Job chapter 5, verse 12. It says, He disappointed, this is the Most High, He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So the Most High is going to disappoint this man. Even though he's doing these things, at the end of the day, the New World Order is going to fail, man. Whatever attack you guys got set up or planned is going to fail ultimately at the end. Yeah, you're going to catch a lot of our people off guard 2/3, but to the men of the Most High that have faith in this thing, we're going to do it to the end, and we're going to see a destruction, man. All right? So this is one of the things that we have to look out for this year. Okay? Like I said, keep your eye on the economy. Keep your eye on international news with the World War III. Also keep your eye on the RFID chip. Keep your eye on these false flags. Okay? Keep your eye on what? These cyber attacks. If you have blackouts, the internet is down, you can't use certain devices. These are all crafty devices of the wicked. So King David said this, and I'm going to close it out to the Spirit. And close it out with this scripture here. Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Yahawashi, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." Who's the wicked? Esau, the white man. Okay? Like I said, starting with the elites on down, what people call the Illuminati. Okay? The scripture says, "Arise, O Yahawashi, disappoint him and cast him down, man. Deliver my soul from the wicked." And that's what we're going to need in these last days, deliverance, aka salvation. So that I'm going to close it out. So giving all praises to Yahawashi. Also give a double honor to the elders and to the Akim that's out there pushing this truth and laboring. And also peace and blessings to the brothers and sisters that listen. That I'm going to say shalom.